I guess sometimes the past just catches up with you, whether you want it to or not. Believing is seeing and seeing is believing. Never give up because you never know what the tide will bring in the next day. The reason most of us go to the movies is to be involved in someone else's moral dilemma. My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. We are all God's animated cartoons. Do you have any music from the last 20 years? You have to adhere to a philosophy that the life unexamined is not worth living. Without question, we make choices and those choices have consequences. My work is really a blast. When it stops being a blast, then it ain't no fun no more. Even the simplest choice can make a jaw-dropping difference in our world. The cinema has the power to make you not feel lonely, even when you are. If we take care of each other, help where we can, and give up some comforts, this too shall pass. If we take care of each other, help where we can, and give up some comforts, this too shall pass. Why does it have to be human or divine? Maybe human is divine. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great. I am who I am, and I think I have a good nature, by and large. To circle the globe, a ship needs only a sail, a wheel, a compass, and a clock. If I stopped having passion, I'd be done. My mama always said you've got to put the past behind you before you can move on. Stupid is as stupid does. I don't know if we each have a destiny, or if we're all just floating around accidentally like on a breeze, but I think maybe it's both. Mama said there's only so much fortune a man really needs and the rest is just for showing off. I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. Mama always said dying was a part of life. I sure wish it wasn't. My mama always said you can tell a lot about a person by their shoes, where they're going, and where they have been. I miss you, Jenny. If there's anything you need, I won't be far away. I wish I were big. Paul, it's not a sport if you let a machine do all the work. You don't get it, do you? This is important. Billy, so you got a job where you play with all these toys. My best sport is video hockey. Baseball is what gets inside you. It's what lights you up, you can't deny that. You stink, you're lousy, you're only the best player in the league. Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball. So, let's play hard, let's play smart. Use your heads. Well, anything worth doing is worth doing right. By the way, I loved you in The Wizard of Oz. You wouldn't have a match by any chance, would you? Because tomorrow the sun will rise. Who knows what the tide could bring? I had power over nothing. Truth is, I'll never know all there is to know about you, just as you will never know all there is to know about me. Humans are by nature too complicated to be understood fully. So, we can choose either to approach our fellow human beings with suspicion or to approach them with an open mind, a dash of optimism, and a great deal of candor. There's a difference between solitude and loneliness. I can understand the concept of being a monk for a while. You cannot look up at the night sky on planet Earth and not wonder what it's like to be up there amongst the stars. And I always look up at the moon and see it as the single most romantic place within the cosmos. As long as you as an individual can convince yourself that in order to move forward as best you can, you have to be optimistic, you can be described as one of the faithful, one of those people who can say, well, look, something's going to happen. Let's just keep trying. Growing up in Northern California has had a big influence on my love and respect for the outdoors. When I lived in Oakland, we would think nothing of driving to Half Moon Bay and Santa Cruz one day and then driving to the foothills of the Sierras the next day. For some people, I will be Forrest Gump for the rest of my life. But that's okay, that's a good thing. If you're funny, if there's something that makes you laugh, then every day's going to be okay. One thing that was amazing about World War II was that everybody signed up for the duration of 6 months. Flyers got to leave combat after 25 missions or 35 missions, but other than that, you were in it. You were part of the great effort until, oh boy, 6 months after it was over. And I'm not apolitical, I'm very specific in my politics. But a lot of the time it's nobody's business unless you're over at my house having dinner. But look, I was born in 1956, the peak year for births in US history. I think I'm the very representative of many of the thought processes my generation has been through, and, by and large, people of my age have had their imprint planted on the consciousness of Western society for a long time. My favorite traditional Christmas movie that I like to watch is All Quiet on the Western Front. It's just not December without that movie in my house. The most accurate representation of how I feel is that I'm incredibly lucky to be working in this structure where people get paid millions to read the news on TV. And yes, it is insane. And there is nothing I can say beyond acknowledging my immense good fortune and being aware that I'm blessed and aware that it isn't going to last forever. If they could offer up a way to go to the moon that wouldn't kill you, I'd sign up. What we're doing with Band of Brothers is trying to put it into human terms, so it is not just a flickering, black and white myth on a screen, it is a resonant story. I want the audience to recognize themselves in these men. They are not just mythic heroes. The truth is that everyone pays attention to who's number one at the box office. And none of it matters, because the only thing that really exists is the connection the audience has with a movie. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. It's the hard that makes it great. From now on we live in a world where man has walked on the moon. It's not a miracle, we just decided to go. Some people go to bed at night thinking, that was a good day. I am one of those who worries and asks, how did I screw up today? Everybody has something that chews them up, and, for me, that thing was always loneliness. The cinema has the power to make you not feel lonely, even when you are. It's just as hard, staying happily married as it is doing movies. I will entertain anything, it doesn't matter. You know, it's not obviously about the price, it's not about who, it's kind of about when and what. It's material, that's all.